Okay guys, we're in the Vega. Thought we'd take it for a little spin. It's been sitting in the garage. I figured we'd take it out. It's a good thing about living in the country. You got nice open roads where you don't bother anybody. But it's running nice and cool, right at 180. Got good oil pressure. We rebuilt it in 2013. Found this T50 5-speed in a Buick Skyhawk with a V6. So this is the world class one, the heavier duty one. Normal Vegas came with the regular T50 and they were kind of weak and would break easily. But I think the Cosworth and the V6 ones came with the world class. It's a good little 5-speed. It's kind of a weird gear shift. First down and to the left. Gauges are VDO Heritage Gold. I like them because they look kind of old-fashioned. And you know, this car is going to be 50 years old next year. And it's still going down the road. You can hear its lumpy little crawler cam. It's not perfect. It has some dings from being stored in the garage, driving it, parking lots, you know. But it's still in good shape. The rear wheels are kind of fun. I had them widened. MRT Racing, I think back east, they took the original Vega hub and they welded it into a larger shell. So that allowed me to put 13 by 7 inch tires on. Right now I'm running 215s because you can't get 235 13s right at the moment. And then in the front I've got 195 55s on the stock GT rims. It has a really big fat sway bar. You can see it in there. That's aftermarket. I got that back in the day when I built the car. That's from Adobe. I don't know if they still sell Vega parts. Probably not. I just put those cowl induction letters on the hood. This is an unlimited fiberglass hood. I chopped the roof, had the ends welded up. The roll bar is, I believe it was Jegg's 6-point that we had welded in before we cut the frame. This is kind of fun. I just did this wood style contact paper. I think it looks nice. It goes with my wood dash. Like a European Vega. And the sound system is an old school Kenwood tape deck with Sony Explode red and black speakers to go with the red and black paint job. Tonneau cover was custom made to show where the cover where the hatchback was cut off. And I made these custom Z29 emblems because the Z29 is the code for a GT Vega. So like a Z28 is a fancy Camaro, a Z29 is a GT Vega. I also made these little backup rally style lights below. Doppio Corpo, if you can see it, if you can't. Hard to tell. Yeah, there it is. Doppio Corpo. That means dual throat in Italian, and that's for the Weber 2-barrel carburetor. I got that emblem off of a 74 Vega. But anyway, I thought you guys would get a kick going out, running around in it a little bit. Usually if you drive it gently, just lightly drive it around town, you get about 23 to 24 miles a gallon. Up on the highway though, a nice long smooth haul in 5th gear, I've gotten 29. Generally it'll get 26 or 27 on the highway, but I have gotten 29 up in the hills. Some of that was coming back down the hill, of course, but that's not bad. I mean, for an old 70s car. Here's the motor of the Vega. I deburred the head and the block before I painted it, so it's really shiny and smooth. I also deburred the inside where all the oil goes. I ported the inside of the intake and the exhaust port. I got a Tonawanda sticker. Those were on the Cosworth engines because that's where they were assembled. And actually parts of the stuff in a Vega motor were made in Tonawanda too, so it's not completely inaccurate to have one. It's got an Offenhauser dual port. This is a hot rod manifold for the Vega 4-banger. It's got a header which we've coated with a titanium powder coat. Hot jet coat stuff. It's heat proof. You can actually look at that. I was just driving it and I can touch the header. You could never do that with a normal header. That would be scalding hot. So it keeps a lot of the heat in the header. Well, here's the air horns. The 2 Fium air horns. They sound pretty good, but I think the little compressor's getting tired. It's pretty old. It's 30 years old. It's got a high energy ignition from a 76 Vega. Anybody who has a Vega motor, I recommend finding these because the old points and condenser were terrible. You'd always have point bounce, and keeping them in adjustment was awful. They would bounce the higher you revved them. These things will go to the sky, plus you get way more spark, which is good. You know, if you're running rich or using oil or whatever. This thing doesn't use oil. It leaks a little bit. All Vegas leak. They weren't the greatest seal designs. The oil pan has a really bizarre double gasket with a baffle, like a windage tray baffle thing. So they leak down at the oil pan usually a little bit. I siliconed the heck out of it, but it still seems to leak. The hood is unlimited fiberglass. I got all these fun stickers, the Weber, the muffler, Pure Later. I like Pure Later filters. It's got a vintage Offenhauser racing sticker and the old school Crowler. Timmons Automotive is the guy who helped build it, who built this many times actually. The first time this motor was in the 74 Vega that I drove in high school, and he built it that first time with the Crowler cam and steel sleeves. And then back in the 80s we rebuilt it again when I started driving the car. And then that car got totaled. Somebody ran a light and smashed into it, but we saved the motor because it was always great. And I put this in another convertible, and then that one got totaled. Somebody ran into it, and I took the motor out of it and built this one, which you can see on another video. I have a whole video making this convertible if you want to learn more about it. Do a little digging. Click on my videos. Anyway, that's the Vega. I just thought you might get a kick out of seeing it on the road, hearing what it sounds like going down the road. It's pretty fun, except the side exhaust makes you deaf in your left ear because it's right near the door. So by the time you're done driving it for a couple hours, you